Stop roll.
I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:01 PM. And roll call, please.
Chair Benson,
Present.
Vice Chair Grant,
Present.
Commissioner Bosa,
Here.
Commissioner Davis,
Here.
Commissioner Ramirez.
Here.
Flag salute. Sam, how about it? Would you like to lead us?
Sure. Black food. Probably was over
Over there.
near the insignia. Salute, I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Secretary's report.
The agenda meeting packet was published on August 15th, 2024.
And item 5.1, approval of minutes from the meeting of May 21st, 2024. You make a second?
Getting out ahead of myself.
Yeah, you are. We need a first.
So moved.
Okay, Sam, we'll give you the first and we'll give Doc the second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, that's
Aye.
unanimous. Great. And number 6 is approval of this tonight's agenda. And I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Thank you, Sam. All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Introductions. Adam, do we have any? I know we have folks here.
I do, but they're here for.
Okay, great. All righty. And this is a time for public comment on any items not on the agenda. So if anyone from the public wishes to speak, probably would have needed to fill out a speaker card, but if not, we can take you because we're kind of informal. Okay, seeing no one, then we're going to new business. Item 9.1, golf course naming request, staff report, Bryce.
Yes, good evening, commissioners. So in your packet is an application received from Ramenta. They received a question in 2024. Barbara is extended Mary Housing, required the access housing park on the golf course and the new sign in place. After discussion, the applicant research, history, park name is included in the packet. The area basically just began in 1922, uses golf course, Mary Housing in your leases. As part of a will, enacted and passed in effectually 1938. Mary Housing donated the area to the city with a few restrictions. One, the city could not use the land for, could only use the land for a park golf course, otherwise returned back to the citizens. Or, and then 2, the property to the name of Housing Park. However, in 1970, her descendant Joseph executed exchange for consideration, quit claim deed that removed the restrictions. Both which all the restrictions, meaning both the restricted use as well as in my review of discussions, the request of the descendants to reapply the name to the facility. The proper practice to submit the application in which that is done. So city staff has not taken official position in favor or against. It's really the recommendation of the commission to the council based on the merits of the application. Thanks for the presentation. And I know Barbara is here. If this commission has any questions.
Chair, may I? Question?
Yes, you may.
So I guess my first question, so I did see that there was, it was stipulated that in Mary Housing School that it would be named as the park. But it was, so as I understand, it was removed in 1969, 1970, that there was no longer the need to continue the housing name?
Correct. Indeed, removed, gave the city full title, guard group restrictions.
Okay.
So the reason we go through this process is that we don't want to apply the name as Jeremy because that's typically not the process. The name was only applied as a function of the will. And so this is just the process that needs to take place for if the commission was to recommend renaming the house.
Well, I for one honor the fact that there is a deep history with respect to this property. And would definitely go along with it to a stipulate in the will that's been removed. And so now there's a new application to reconsider I guess my question to my fellow members is it a historical, is this a historical society thing, or is this something just simply naming a park?
It's a park naming. He said there was a quitclaim, there was consideration for the quitclaim. So that means there was something exchanged of value for at that time. So now the family's coming back and would like to ask for it to be renamed back. And it's kind of interesting because I got to play Alexa Owsley in the film that never got shown. So I've been out to the property. So I'm aware of your great, I think she's your great grandmother, right? Yes, and so yeah, I actually support this. I was surprised that it was taken off, but because I always known it as golf course, housing park. I don't have any problem with it. Anybody else?
No problem with it. I have a further question. What was the consideration given for the removal of all
The application, we're looking for that for quite a while, but we could be on, have this from records to show what that consideration was.
So that gives us, the opportunity to keep the name or not keep the name as a discussion, or what are you saying? There's
So
nothing?
at this point, the commission is being asked, part of the naming application process,
Uh-huh.
to make a written recommendation to the city council. City council makes the following determination.
Okay,
But the commission is the first step in that process, or issue a recommendation to council, whether to approve, whether it recommends approving the application and the naming, and applying the name housing park.
Mhm.
If we rename make a recommendation to council, rename Owsley Park. There's no restriction on the property ownership as far as what the city does with the property. Sometime it's no longer functioning as a golf course, they can
Correct.
do it. Doesn't have to go back to the citizenry and all that.
Doesn't reapply any of the conditions. At that point, it's the name
Only.
applied by the city. In the future, if for some reason, properties disposed of or
Right.
altered use, that would still allow for the city.
Okay.
That to plan the or grant that to use.
Okay. Just one second.
that?
Just one second, Sam.
Go ahead.
Stressing that there's no plan for that.
Right, but I want that as clarity so that there folks that are in the audience are aware. How's that? This is a public hearing, right?
Well, it's a public meeting, so this is your time to ask questions.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanna- We're getting some hand raising, so it's new business, so we can actually open it up. Go ahead, Sam, you had your hand up.
The signage is where the Owsley Park is not listed right now on the new signage for the golf. So, in a recommendation to the council, would it be appropriate to include in the recommendation that the signage be replaced or to be maintained on the new sign? The old sign has Owsley Park, but the new sign does not.
If the commission wants to make a recommendation, and ultimately like the sign design and that approach will get to the city staff at that point, but if the name is applied.
Yeah, the sign could be amended to,
So it's not necessary, but that's,
yes,
that's recommended.
okay. Anybody else have questions? If not, we'll then open it up to the public, and then Connie had her hand up. Connie Rogers?
Thank you. I'm Connie Rogers. I'm the president of the Hawaii Historical Society. And it's hard to see what all the fuss is about in a way, because it has always been known as Owsley Park. And most of the older park activity guides that the Recreation Department published listed it as Owsley Park, parentheses golf course. So it is definitely a historic name,
Mhm.
although it's not designated officially as a historic site.
That's correct.
But I would certainly urge you to support the reestablishment of the name. And I would also ask the city staff to please consult with the Gilroy Museum. We are your source, if the city clerk can't find the records, that's your problem. but I bet the museum has it. You know, we have a lot of records about the Owsley family, about the history of what's happened there. The house where Mrs. Armenta and her husband lived has been in the family since 1872. It's eligible to be on the National Register of Historic Places. It's like the most historic part, one of the very most historic parts of Gilroy. So, thank you for listening to my plea and
Thank you.
know that the Historical Society supports the establishing the name.
Thank you. Anyone else? Or Barbara, would you like to speak at all?
No, I'm just listening to everything and, with the signage, I think one idea, so we're trying to redo the sign is to add a little thing at the bottom or just have a placard there. So I think there are ways to, you know, deal with that if we get to that point, which I hope we do. Yeah, my family has been in agriculture. They some of the first vineyards in the area were on that area where the golf course is. So it has a lot of great things to offer the community and the visitors who come. They can get an idea of what the was about and what our identity is as farmers, agriculture, and as just good spirited people who like to work together and contribute.
Thank you. One of the things that I just want to add quickly, for those of you who may not know, Mrs. Owsley was the very first woman ever allowed to own property in the city of Gilroy, and I believe the state of California as well. She had to go against the cattle baron and go to court and all that kind of stuff. But that's the significance of the piece of property. It is very important to our culture. Sam.
I've been on the Park and Rec Commission 3 times, and I've always known it as Owsley Park. So I would recommend or move to put it into a motion that we recommended to the city council that it be the golf course with the name Owsley Park.
Okay. I'll second the recommendation.
Do we have, do I have a chance to say anything?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. I thought we all.
I think it's important to remember who we are, and where we're going from, and so that we retain the fact that Gilroy at one time, it's losing some of its farming, but there's still that, you know, people drive through Gilroy, go, gosh, they farm here? Oh, God, there's so many trees. Oh, they're surprised at what we have, and I think it's important to, it's history, and I think it's worth knowing. It puts you in a place and you have something to compare it with something else, and it makes you think about how easily, yes, it would be to say this, let's just call it another Gilroy Park, but Owsley, and then put that memory of who Owsley is, and then that continues. I think the name and who those people were, and generous enough to give it back to the, what's the word? Yeah, back to the city. So I think it's a great thing. And we have beautiful parks. All of us go to all the parks all the time and get to see them. Gilroy's known for their parks, I think. So I can't see not
Okay,
having it.
how about Luis? Any
No,
further
I,
information?
like I said, I honor the history and I support them.
And Doc, you have any comment?
Right along with you.
Okay, then we're gonna go back to the recommendation by Sam to make a motion to recommend to city council regarding the request to reestablish the name of the property currently hosting the Gilroy Golf Course facility and add Owsley Park back to signage for the park as well. And I second that motion. All in favor? Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you. And it will go to city council for action and Bryce will take it to. Okay.
Can I
just keep her informed if you can?
I have a silly question. So it says Owsley Park signage. Do we have some kind of protocol for what what is included on the sign? Like somebody goes Owsley Park, who's Owsley?
There is protocol and they have.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
For all of our
Already-
parks like that, it's the same kind of protocol, pretty much.
It's for
Yeah.
the city, there's city protocol naming parks.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Proceeding onward. we go to 9.2, potential lease of Los Animas Recreation Building and staff report, Victoria Valencia, the Economic Development Manager. Victoria.
Thank you. Good afternoon, commissioners, members of the public. My name is Victoria Valencia, the Economic Development Manager in the city of Groveland. Part of my duties is to oversee the leases of city property, specifically when it comes to commercial buildings or anything involving business groups, some nonprofit groups in town as well. So the Los Angeles Recreation Room is located at 400 Mantelli Drive here in Gilligan, and it's been underutilized in recent years. The room was used for an after-school program for elementary school students in 2021 and a dress certificate program in 2022. The square footage of the building is 1,792 and includes a kitchen, storage area, and restroom. Glory Fellowship. This is not here in Gilmore, who provides services to our residents. Their current facility is 7511 Gourmet Alley, and the Gourmet Alley construction project that's currently taking place has displaced them. And the city has allowed this group to utilize the Los Angeles Rec Room since May of this year. They're anticipated to remain in the building through the remainder of construction, which is anticipated to be October 2020. The city received a lease offer letter on July 28th from the AA group, and they're seeking a 3 to 5 year lease agreement to utilize the Los Angeles Recreation Room at $12 per month. They meet 16 times per week, providing safe presence and activating this underutilized space. And at this time, there are currently no plans for this site. The commission is asked to render a recommendation to the council regarding the request to lease the Los Angeles Recreation Room. I do have Drew and Joe here from the Gilroy Fellowship on this.
I have a couple of questions. I realized I actually read it and I'm thinking that I've highlighted some stuff.
Go ahead.
What's the number of people that are allowed within that room? Is there an attendance?
The occupancy
Yep,
level?
there we go. I'm not thinking at all. Yeah, occupancy, yeah. Will that occupancy level be able to serve the people that you want to serve?
So, my name is Andrew. I'm the current chair for the business committee for the Gilroy Association Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Okay,
Currently, the occupancy that we have, at our location on Gourmet Alley, we out from that facility.
okay.
This facility, we've already seen, an increase in membership as well as just attendance overall.
Mhm.
The largest meeting that we have on a regular, basis has anywhere from 50 to 65 people at that meeting. And we were able to fit into that meeting comfortably at the board. So
Is that during the day, the
it's-
evening,
it's Sunday.
Sunday mornings, you guys?
7:30 AM meeting on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
You have multiple meetings, correct? Yeah. I have a question. 1,750 square feet, okay, and I'm comparing it to like the Red Barn, seems bigger, and they can only have 49 people. It's kind of like, where's the equity there? Anyway, I think it's a wonderful idea. It looks like you're planning on maybe continuing past October, like maybe a 3 to 5 year period?
We would love that.
Okay, alrighty. And then as far as your self-supporting through membership contributions, so it looks like the city's probably within their due diligence for potential tenants. So, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
of the group?
And I do too.
Luis?
In terms of the lease, is it triple net? Is it, who's covering the utilities, any repairs, that sort of thing?
So. Recommend this to council, that is, staff would continue with that due diligence. And these terms.
And the condition of the building, will it support, I know that building's not the newest building in the world, and I guess you're comfortable in it, so I'm concerned about the viability of the building, roof, is that safe enough, we're good enough for people staying there? Because it's 18 meetings per week, if I read that right, something like that. That's a lot of people coming out of the building, so I just want to make sure the building's safe and.
That is, I do know that our facilities team has been doing regular maintenance on it, even with its usage. And that's something that we could definitely work into
And who is the leader of the association of the AA and that?
So Joe Nunez, I'm on the ad hoc committee.
Okay.
So I've been a member with this fellowship for 13 years now. So what we do is we have a rotating board similar to the situation. So Andrew is our chair for the next 2 years. And then change that. It's a committee roughly. Well, plus our members are.
And does
That
that lease cover insurance and everything?
I'm sure the city has all the details. That's not kind of our thing. That's her thing.
Okay, I'll just.
Further question. Is
Wait a
there-
minute, Terry's next.
Okay, so the meetings are at 7:30 on Sundays,
No, one of
one of them. So so my question is parking right there, because that's a smaller parking area. How does that influence it? Sunday morning, I don't know that we see a lot of people, you know, just residences, if you will, wandering around, walking their dogs, talking and stuff like that. So are citizens, if you will, are they impacted by parking or attendance, or what happens if the city or someone comes and says, I want that room at that time? Is there a conflict of interest of any sort?
No, since it's a lease.
Okay.
No one else is gonna have access to it.
Okay, great.
Joe, again, one of the things that we, again, once your recommendation goes through, I'm assuming the other conversation you would have, and I think we as a committee have talked about it. Should there be
Yeah.
another, say, somebody who wants it on one Saturday afternoon or something
That won't happen.
Meeting, but
You never know.
No, it won't. Once it's a lease, the city
Once it's
doesn't
a-
go back on
The
the
lease,
lease.
it is,
1 minute.
As far as the parking goes, they have been in the building since May and haven't experienced it.
okay,
Great. That's very good to hear. And I was gonna say real quickly, directly across the street is just street on street. The houses are, there's a big.
No, there's nobody
fence, there's
around.
No issue, I would think. And I think your presence there is probably great, especially with some of the element we've had in the dog park area. And maybe you might even get some folks in from that because of it.
Yeah.
God bless. I hope it's it. Luis has a question.
This is more probably for our park people, is for the dollars that go from that lease, would it go to the Parks and Rec for recreation programs? Like,
See, fun.
whether it's
You're
city-
gonna lease?
Yeah, the lease proceeds.
No,
We're going to the.
travel fund.
It's not being managed.
City properties rentals go into general fund.
Yeah,
In
and
most
also it pays for the upkeep of it. And you're bringing in issues with roofing, painting, any other infrastructural costs. That's really what it's.
Mhm.
sorry.
just a comment as well on that though, in regards to the utilization of the park. So what I will say is that what our community has found, or our fellowship, is that we have a pattern within our mantra of working with one another one-on-one. And so the park is provided for us. After these meetings, people will break off and have one-on-ones with each other
Oh.
for smaller meetings.
Oh, nice.
So it is, they are utilizing the park.
That's, yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
that's great. And there's picnicky areas right around there because I walked at this, doing my,
It's a
Yes, I
really,
think
it's
it
a
is.
very calming area.
and I
overall,
think,
Is what it is.
you know, we've had issues in the past from residents wanting our help. And when Luis was chair, we tried to have something, but I think this is one of the best things could ever happen in the park. Anybody else have a question? If not, I'll open anything, comments out there? Okay, if not, we'll close comments. Any of you all have another comment at all? Okay, I'll take recommendation. I take a motion on the recommendation.
I move we move forward and recommend the city council to allow to proceed with the lease to the AA group.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. Okay, you'll be hearing from the city. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good luck.
I'll be driving around.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, onward and upward. We now go to old business, and that is item 10.1, potential pickleball court site evaluation project and scoring collection and staff report, Bryce Atkins.
Yes, Commissioner. We are, we'll try to 5 minutes probably. So, today's item is simply just a collection of scores for commissioners, as you comment, which may be part of that process. And what we'll do then is take the scoring, tabulate the results and come back with prior work based on scores.
Okay, does anyone have any comment? Because I know I have a couple, but I will wait till last.
I do have a comment. I just, it was fun going through all the parks. And looking at them all and just was so impressed with, I haven't been to certain parts of the neighborhood.
Yeah,
To
same
see
here.
the
Mhm.
trees all grown up and the parks were completed, and they did 15 years ago. It looks really, really nice. So I just thought you could put a pickleball court somewhere, because there's a lot of great places to put a pickleball.
I've lived here for 40 years. I'm not even, I was born and raised here. So I took this list and I went, Churchill Park, where exactly is that? I don't know that. I know Christmas Hill. And then I got to thinking, there was 2 or 3 parks. I didn't know where they were. And I'm going, we don't have addresses for them, or, so they must all be neighborhood parks?
Not
I
all.
don't know, and they're not. So I was just wondering how people,
It's very easy. All you have to do is Google it
Google
or
it.
go to the city. I went to the.
code is, but you're a city person, is my
No,
point.
Terry, the
I
citizen.
understand.
I mean,
I just
I
thought it
went
was
to the city
interesting
of
that I
Gilroy
didn't know.
website.
Yeah,
And that's
so I
where
just
all
thought it was kind of interesting that I didn't know where a couple of parks were. And in terms of evaluating, like from electricity to water, those were kind of, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go in and turn on any taps or anything like that. So, I went on the parks that I knew and evaluated those the most. The other ones that I didn't know, I left alone because I didn't want to skew.
Oh, you needed to go through every park.
I went through every park,
Oh, okay.
but I'm not, I went through every park, but I don't know that I vote, that I
You gave it a,
scaled.
okay,
Yeah,
that's, but I felt was right. I mean, I went through everyone and well, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have
Yeah.
that, it gets this and
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And, so what I did to find out about some of these parks, because I've been to all these parks. I was like, oh yeah, how many acres is this park? And so then I went and I think, oh, yeah, well, da, da, da. So it was like, so I kind of even got that far in, like what I couldn't, what I didn't know right off the bat, I was like, oh, I'm saying, okay. So I wrote on here, park too small, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, just for overview on that. So do you have anything further? So I want to go down.
right. No, not right now. There's other things, just the parks that I visited. Well, that's completely separate from this. No.
Okay. So, Bryce, I want to thank you for giving me another set of scoring sheets, because like I told you last night, mine were all with like, I spilled water on it when I was out there, and I was like, anyway, so, but they're all nice now. But I think we might want to have a little round table, so, because in our mind's eye, not every park area is good for pickleball, and some are good for only maybe 1 or 2 courts, or
Sure.
2 to 4.
Yeah.
And so kind of, and then I'm envisioning, like here at the sports park, oh, well, how about here? And then maybe how about here? So, that may throw some kind of wrinkle in the scoring. So you may have to come back to us and say, what did you really have in mind? And I kind of wrote on here for like a sports park, okay, this is what I'm thinking, and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, and one thing I needed to ask Adam is, when I went to the park site, I didn't go to the city website, but I'm looking at the little map they have for identifying A through 4 ball fields and all that. But, that property is surrounded by agriculture, but do we own that agricultural property? Is it currently leased, or do we not own that yet? Because I mean, where the sports park's going, do we own that property? Yeah, it's Sharks, yeah.
Yes. So we
Yeah.
own the Shark City, we also own the ag land around it.
Oh, perfect.
We lease it, I believe, still to.
Okay.
Part of the general
farmer,
fund.
Yeah.
But that lease is up to the cities.
Yeah, I figured it would probably be do that.
Here,
Yeah,
and so that's, we still own it, and so in time, if that's a site that's identified and funds being bid.
sure.
But that obviously, if that is the site, then that will all, I think that would be on hold until the Sharks phase 3 is completed before starting phase 4.
Yeah, and, where I was even thinking, you know, with a potential site, and I don't wanna let too much out, but just since we're talking about that one park, right behind the A4 ball field, there's this swath all running along the fence where there's the ag land. And I'm looking at that today and I'm going, what if we did a long, you know, linear set of pickleball, you know, between the baseball field and the ag field, because it's got the bathrooms, it's got, you know, snack shack, it's got the levee where you can ride bikes. Parking's a little bit further, you have to walk, but it's got potential. So that's kind of why I wanted to know if we own beyond that fence. So just kind of where my thing was going. And then as we enter the site for the sports park, as you're going down the little road, do we own the property that's immediately north of it? That field that's behind some houses and stuff, or not?
We are about to.
At the entrance,
Yeah, when you come down the entrance, you know, there's a hayfield that's cut down. Okay, because I had a potential thing.
For the backside to the north. we
Oh,
do
okay.
that Frontage part.
The front part, no. Okay, well, that eliminates
Sorry,
one
I
of
thought
them.
you were back.
No, I was before, but then I actually got out and walked the whole thing. And then I was watching people ride in on their bikes and things like that, and, you know, looking at the neighborhood from the K&B housing that's right there. And then when I saw the office for the park, I kind of looked over to my left and I go, man, that little corner it's shaded well, you know, it's flat. I said, wow, that'd also be a good area because you're right by parking, you know, so I just like, oh, but I didn't know if we owned it. So if we don't own it, that's one thing, but we could own it. Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, that was my question. So what do you guys, and then we'll give it another run. No for you?
no,
Okay, Sam.
Oh, yes. First of all, Bryce, I want to apologize for not getting to you sooner to finish my report. Part of my problem is that I should have not gone to South Valley Middle School to see the 12 courts.
Oh, gee, yeah.
So, and then I saw Melinda Puente, and he gave me some insight. So, right, I think the next thing for me would be to come and see you and see whatever it is that I need to finish on that report. If you're around.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it-
I'll do Adam to schedule.
Oh, if it's Adam, that's fine, yeah.
I'll start scheduling, just to make sure.
Okay, great.
I have a question. How is seeing the pickleball course, the school affect you not completing your assignment?
Because it's there.
Well, that's not city
Well,
property.
well,
Sam, we went through this 2 months ago. So it's not city
I know you
property.
did.
Can I, just give us a couple of items? So one, this is the date for receiving scoring. The planned dates, the next meeting will be bring back based on scoring, what that. That's kind of filter and kind of identify those sources. Then the commission is then to identify if there's parks that are going up in the park or in the order or not. So it's not set. So sessions are anticipated. The November meeting is when the recommendations are anticipated to actually be made. So we have the September meeting, October meeting, and then November's to be decided back. So there's a couple rounds to.
This was just an initial for us to go in and just really make sure that we know where our parks are and what they have to offer. And you listing all of this stuff, someone was like, oh, that doesn't work, oh, that one works. So I appreciate that it was pulled out that way. I do have one question for you. 1 being the least, 10 being the most, like, okay, I just wanted to pick for myself.
I just would like to clarify something with regards to the location of the ice center and the access road. We don't own this property, actually, because that access road is supposed to be widened to handle the future traffic volumes. We're looking into either purchase or establishing an easement. But this is gonna take time, and that intersection is going to be signalized. Because I would like this project, the avoid, any delays.
Mhm.
Having the right of way is a lengthy process, as you probably know.
Yeah.
And also we're placing some elements of that project on hold because the ICE Center itself is changing in terms of the number of seats and so forth. So there will be a supplemental analysis to the EIR. And that in itself will take time.
Sure.
So,
Well, if the locations I was looking at was not considering the ice center site. Okay, I like this, my idea where it's all linear and by the ball field and there's cement right by there, there's bathroom there and all that. And so to me, that wouldn't be as drastic. It's linear, but so what? You know,
That part would not affect this process.
yeah.
So don't weigh that.
Yeah, and I just don't wanna, I'm saying that, you know, we wouldn't be held up for you because of the ice there, because I didn't even consider that. We don't know what it looks like. We don't even, site plan looks like, so we can't even go there. Yeah,
and the site plan is changing, but
Sure.
for sure where the access road is, it's not ours.
hold on, Connie, we're not open yet to public, we're still discussing. Okay, so back here, Sam had his, got any more? No? Good, Okay.
Can I have one question?
yes, ma'am.
So what, are we giving this feedback? Is this a value to, I know, because
Oh, yes, so the sheets being collected, the purpose and what, sorry. What we'll be bringing back is the ranking order and then the commissioner's score.
nice.
And so that way you can kind of also see, well, what did the commissioner score? Does that change? Okay, maybe I was thinking that way. If we talk about whether if there's big swings, if somebody get a 1, somebody get a 10.
Yeah.
Why was it that swing? What are you thinking about that park? And that might help inform if you want to move parks up in priority order, say this is a better park than that one.
Yeah.
So that's the purpose of the scoring.
No, I think it was a great initial eye opener for us. I mean, we know our parts, but you putting all of this in, it was a different. My eyes were on different things, you know, specifically this kind of stuff. So I want to thank you for that. The more I used it, the more I appreciated it. Thank you.
So then I'll collect that, I can wait until the end of the item or now it's for.
Okay,
So-
okay.
Have at it.
Then I'll work with the other
That's you.
commissioners. to come up with the-
Do you have yours? For him?
I will.
Okay. Okay, you got 2-0 to you, I guess. As far as something else,
Madam Chair,
I know Connie she has another question, so go ahead.
Well, this is a question, actually. I'm asking because, my husband worked for the school district for 41 years and, you know, he was a board member, quite a few years ago now, but the school district used to have a joint use agreement with the city, and so I'm just inquiring.
That's another phase of it. This is city property first we're looking at. And then we're gonna be
Okay.
looking at joint ventures possibly.
But I would like to kind of second what Commissioner Bozo said that, when I had the tour of the new South Valley Middle School, they have 12 beautiful pickleball courts and equipment. I know from dealing with the school district that they would certainly require a monitor, a person in attendance there, and it would probably be limited to after school times and weekend. But on the other hand, when you avoid the construction expense and, you know, when the courts are there, I just don't like you to overlook that.
Oh, no, we haven't. We
Okay.
haven't.
All
And,
right, that's-
thank you for also commenting on that. But we had our marching orders first to look at city properties. Because our recommendation eventually go to council.
Yes,
And they will say, okay, we like this, however, we want to see this too.
right.
And then, you know, the joint agreements, we talked about that 2 months ago. And also I brought up Gavilan College because, there's also instructive programs there. But yes, the one thing about the pickleball courts at, the high school, the middle school, can't use them during the day. Not accessible during school hours.
They have.
So that's a big
There would be
limitation.
a time limitation, obviously. But, and I know, I don't play pickleball.
I don't either.
But, I think it's a great sport and very popular. It's a cross-age sport
Mhm.
and I would love to see the city make that more available to.
Oh,
people
sure.
Because,
Sure.
yeah.
Yep, but it's a financial issue too, so, that's
Right.
part of it.
So that's why I
Oh,
thought.
yeah, no, we'd already talked about it, but that's a council decision.
Right.
So, and then we're on that
Maybe
too.
I'll talk to them.
Whatever, it's not time yet, but yeah.
I know. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me comment.
Thank you, thank you. So we don't need to make a motion. We turned in our information and you have two. I would give deadlines so that you don't get behind in your assignments. I got this, because I was curious about how much room it needed to build for the pickleball courts and how much wheelchair play, how much stadium, how much, whatever. So I did download this, so I knew, because I was actually walking out at the ranch site, because I was, one thing, I'm gonna give you this at a later date. My brother lives in San Jose at the Villages. They have homeowner runs the pickleball courts. So he gave me complete photos. He gave me their, rules, their equipment rules and all that. So at a later date, I will provide all that for you as some resource information. Okay. Alrighty, so it looks like we can move on. Thank you. Now we are at item 10.2. Review of our fiscal 24-25 Parks and Recreation Commission work plan. So staff report is Adam.
Yes, and you should all have a copy of this. This time I printed it.
Thank you, and I
You can
put it in.
actually.
Here it is. Yeah.
All right, I can share with Commissioner Davis, so we can look on. If you go
Got it?
to.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you
Got
got
it.
it. Okay, if you go to the right side of the spreadsheet where it says status. And look at where it's bold, these are the updates.
Okay.
These are the updates to your work plan. So the first one is post Arbor Day. And staff is proposing, and you've already agreed on Rainbow Park, that was agreed with the previous meeting. But in terms of a date, this
Okay.
was the big change. So we spoken with Parks and we're looking at Thursday, October 24th, 2024.
Right,
I know it seems like it's ways away,
10:24?
10:24, but
10:24.
10:24,
Okay, it's right here on the status, right?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
In any event, so the question is, so anyway, we just wanted to put it out there to you to just see if there were any known conflicts at this time, but that seems to be a good date for Parks to plant those trees.
Can I ask John a question about that? So I was just out at the Rainbow Park, that's the one over there by, behind, what's not Rod Kelly, but over there by Mount Madonna, right? I was shocked. I guess it's just that a summer heat wave just came in. I mean, the lawns are brown, the trees were brown, and I went around the parks and I went, wow. I mean, even my yard, needed water. So, will it be that hot in October? Is October, I guess I'm saying, is October gonna be too warm at that point to still plant? With that fall, you never know with that fall stuff.
Well, we might have some Indian summer, but I don't think we'll have that.
Something like that.
Yep.
Good point. Okay,
We just got through a summer. I think record weeks of under.
Yeah.
I know, even.
What time of day? Because some of us have to pick up like kids from high school and all that kind of. So,
Whatever's good for you then.
Yeah, we were looking at around the noon hour.
oh, okay, so before kids are out of school, perfect. Thursdays are
And
big
you'll-
for me.
And you'll stick with that time, or do you wanna just say about that time? And you'll
I
and give
would
us info.
say that it is tentative until it is fully confirmed, which you will be, which you'll receive an email about.
So
I'm
like,
thinking lunchtime.
it's like that 12-1 kind of deal?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at.
Okay,
Tentatively.
Have to check Mount Madonna's school schedule.
Oh.
you know, it's
That's a
usually,
good one.
I don't think the high schools break for early, I know the middle schools don't break early, it's only the elementaries, so.
They get pretty busy. When kids get outside.
Yeah.
The Gilroy
It
High
might,
School.
it might be the Mount Madonna program, because I don't know if they go full days. So yeah, you might be right about that. Okay, well, I'll put it down for me on the 24th at 12. Okay, and then if it's changed, we'll change it.
Okay, I'm gonna skip down because we do have a guest here.
Oh,
Gilroy Librarian Cassandra Wong.
oh, okay.
We're gonna talk about the story walk.
So we're
Oh,
gonna do a switcheroo on the
We're
agenda
just
or
gonna
what?
Go down.
Oh,
instead of
here.
Going, yeah.
Jump down.
Okay.
We're gonna jump down
All
to
the way to the
actually the
bottom.
last
Here we go.
one.
Okay.
On the last
And
row.
your name again was?
Cassandra.
Cassandra.
Wong, W-O-N-G.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well,
I stopped by previously, but it was 2 months ago, so seeing kind of where we're at with the project and
I presented to council last night, and the slide similar to that was up with part of our other information, and I explained to the council last night about, if you don't know what a story walk is, this is what it is. You know, so we did that.
All right, so if you can, I can get your attention up here. So this is a story walk that's actually in, city of San Ramon. They have a central park and, I was just happened to be in the area, I saw it. Gosh, it's the first time I had seen it. Apparently, there is one in Morgan Hill as well. Has anyone seen it yet?
No.
No? Oh.
Oh.
I don't know if it's being proposed, I don't know where it is in the process, I don't know if it's already been constructed, but anyway. This one was San Ramon.
just installed.
Oh, it's just,
Maybe
oh, okay.
Do you know which park site they put it in?
it was in the.
Oh,
Community park. Yes.
It's there, it's where the CRC is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's the big one.
Where the dog park is.
Yeah, where the dog.
One thing of the big electrical statue there. Okay, community.
So this what it looks like, I'll just close it, that's what it looks like. And you can see this is number 19.
Yeah.
So this is not a, live little panel project. This is doable. And so John and I were talking about the different, the various parks here and in terms of space and what it entails. And, we recommend, narrowing down to the two biggest parks here in town, Christmas Hill Park and Los Angeles. These locations, first of all, are central locations for all residents of Gilroy. They're community park. They already have established pathways, concrete pathways, leading to facilitate the project. Can also be on the pathway as well. They obviously, these parks are heavily used. They are used to receiving a lot of foot traffic. They obviously have restrooms and parking lots. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the park where I found this one at is like going to Christmas. You know, it's like the main, and at community park, for those of you who've been over there, it's one of the larger parks in Morgan. So they tend to be in very large parks because it's a real community participation type.
Heavily traveled.
One of the things we would like, because again, even if we narrow it down to these two parks, there's still other things that are personal, which site would be more accommodating, and then where, you know, where should it start, where could it end, based on, you know, the trajectory of the paths that are already there. So we're actually thinking, a small committee, could be 2 of you, could be 3 of you, to kind of go in between the two meetings, in between say this meeting and the next meeting, to do a little bit more research and provide a little bit more feedback.
Yeah.
That concludes all that. Are there any questions?
No, no question. I think in my mind's eye, I've always felt Christmas Hill Park
Yeah,
on the original side where between the redwoods would be the ultimate. I drove the other day when I was doing my analysis for pickleball on the other side and I drove to the back. And where we planted our trees, Luis, hotter than Hades back. And this is perfect at the Christmas Hill site. I think it's far superior to Los Animas.
What you have that's good about Christmas Hill Park is you also have a perimeter
Mhm.
that you can walk and it's very nicely treated. I was just out there having lunch this afternoon, as a matter of fact, just looking over and then again, the parking, but it's nicely shaded and it's open. You have visual all around that park, you know, it's not a secluded park.
We have the new bathrooms there. I just think that's the site. If you want to do a committee, fine, but I think we can save time. It
Well, I think it's one of our star parks.
is,
And
absolutely.
why not? Oh, now we have a walking trail. Now we have this story walk. Now, where is it? It's Christmas Hill Park. Oh, everybody knows where the Garlic Festival was. Well, that's Christmas Hill Park. I mean, there's so much that you can associate with the location and new people to go like and figure out where that is. So,
Mhm.
more conducive to children.
Oh,
pardon?
yeah, yeah. You know, it's midway to the, you know, where the children play area is. It's by the new bathroom. It comes up from the parking lot right to that area.
It's a nice
To the
visual.
middle, you know, you can go to the amphitheater and whatever you want to do, or right to the, to me, it's always been the spot.
I agree. If we need to do a committee, I'm happy to volunteer, but
We don't,
I don't think we need to. I like Christmas Hill. I think we're all,
In agreement.
And I would love,
How about that, Adam? Let's work for you.
I do have a question. What exactly does that placard, the story walk, talk about?
It's a story and it's a page out of a story.
figured out.
and actually, let me show you.
Yeah.
I mean, I was wondering, does it talk about does it talk about the park? Does it talk about what kids do? Or it's a story?
So, the story walk, the premise is basically tying, it's a way to bring more literacy out to families, right, where they are. It's a great way to get families to utilize more of their walking trails, their parks, and just have a more interactive component to their
Nice.
time in the park, right?
And- And how they described it when I looked it up was it takes a children's book and breaks it, it takes it apart and that's the story. And as you're going along, your parents or your grandparents, whatever, you're outdoors, you're encouraging literacy for youth and all that. So I love that description last night and I used it.
So the panels would be, Adam was mentioning, so it's a like, page, think of a page of slides, it's like a slide deck walking through. Sometimes there's little activities on there, very engaging. The first one that would be considered is a book called Cat's Colors. So there is a company who specializes in providing this type of, this specific type of story, well, for this type of scenario. We're planning on doing a rotation every 3 months. to
Right.
Get a new story. And it's just it would be a really amazing way to collaborate between the library commission, the Parks and Rec Commission, any kind of, I know you're going with revitalization and updates to that Christmas, Christmas Hill,
Yes.
part. So I think it all kind of comes together really nicely with this type of project. The library would be assuming, the financial responsibility for providing the stories and the polls and, putting in the labor to put them in the ground. So we really would like your assistance in, working with your department and your commission on a spot. And then, passing it along to council and also working with facilities and your maintenance teams just to, kind of go over what is necessary for installation and, it would also be a cool project for the library commission and yourself, if you'd like to just, work on. Yeah, how's it doing out there? What's the feedback? And so if it needs any repairs.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have like a joint opening
Yeah.
together, a ribbon cutting. Doc,
So are these boards, are they interchangeable? Cause after a while, people are gonna get bored with the same.
yeah, she's gonna change the story like every 3 months.
Okay.
We're thinking every 3 months.
Oh, okay.
And they
Perfect.
do the change.
Yes.
One thing I was going to ask, and Sam can go next. I'm afraid of graffiti on the glass.
That's what I was wondering about too.
So.
Is it
we
gonna be
know-
treated or, I mean, John can tell you.
So I believe it is made to withstand
Anti.
the outdoors. And part of the kind of, commissioner, the library commission side of the project would be, occasional, just checking on everything, seeing how it's
Okay.
going, and then we would be placement of glass or, cleaning it,
Okay.
so that kind of thing, but, we understand that. Just to
Unfortunately,
make sure that the onus would be on, the library commission and the library to provide that type of replacement and repairs.
okay. Sam, you have a question?
Yeah, can the second one be bilingual?
We are working
Thank you.
on bilingual options. I was hoping we'd have one specifically for this site. There's only
Sure.
a about, so we're looking into other companies that have one.
Mhm.
Thank you.
How many are there? How many placards are there?
Um,
Do you have a certain number of them
Okay, and,
on the story?
most stories are anywhere from about 15.
1 to 15?
No, 15.
We
Pages.
do about 15 panels.
That's what, okay,
Mhm.
that's what I mean. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, nice.
Depends
15
on the
panels.
story, I guess, so, yeah.
Depends on the part,
And John,
Yeah.
right?
Susan is our facilities. Parks, sorry. Where it's going.
They're recommended that the panel.
So again, it depends on which site you choose, and then we can kind of gauge how many. you
Lay it
want
out
and
evenly.
how them, like, it would be a uniform distance.
Okay.
Has anyone ever done on one side the story goes and on the return side the story ends? Cause I was just thinking, depending on all that.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's a long, pretty good distance. Couple, I would say maybe like a 2-block distance, right?
This one, I saw here in San Luis, Michigan.
Oh,
It also
okay.
depends on how many panels, but, John will scope it out.
Okay.
Good idea.
With the, Public Works team and determine maybe perhaps
Distance.
the distance, and the exact location and the best flow, then we can bring that back.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have any questions? Okay,
You generally want them.
Yeah, a loop is usually favorable, just because. Parts on there, idea, come back around to it, and, it's usually, it's preferable to. And, really, I think it would just be really fun, little partnership. and
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Bring both the commissions and also the city services together.
I
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
for, I'm an ex-teacher, so I like it just because the story is there, the reading of it. Hey, what is that? How do they have that word there? And I think it's just another opportunity to have some good literature offered to children and maybe the pictures in it. And can we go back to that park and read that story again type of thing? So I think I like it. It's a win-win for me.
Presenting to council and,
Yeah, last night.
beginning the discussions.
Sweet. Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please feel free to, any additional questions.
I have
Okay,
one. So one city, one story walk type of thing in a park. I mean, is that enough? I mean, is it a popular thing going? This story walk thing. It's like a new thing.
Yeah, so all of the So I'm from the, Center for Library
Oh,
District.
yeah.
And we're putting one in around, the goal is to put in for each of our cities. So finding,
Oh, so there's the city library, okay, then you did say that, okay,
Yeah, because
Thank you.
you got a grant, right, for this to happen.
I believe, yes,
Yeah.
that's how it came about and, through some foundational funds.
Mhm.
I like it.
Great. Any other questions? Okay, so, we told you Christmas Hill Park. I guess it's unanimous.
Yeah, yes, staff will come back with additional information at future.
Okay,
We'll just keep progressing.
I like it.
okay. But this will be finished before our fiscal year, our year end, correct?
I mean, year end being fiscal year. or-
Well, I'm talking like December, will be done by December no, our recommendation to council or whatever.
Oh, at the project.
No, our business.
Yes. In terms of making a recommendation, yeah, it's possible. I don't want to give any guarantees.
Well, I'm just thinking of you leaving.
I
I'd
have,
like to have it happen.
I have one more question. What about, that being, there's some graffiti on that, who will be responsible for like, is that another part of your job? You'll have to send people out there to clean up, like if they,
I asked
you
her.
guys are doing,
I
okay,
asked
yeah,
her.
yeah. Okay, thank you, because I'm looking, or, they break the,
No, she said they'll be responsible, glass, everything.
and you, and what, if we're monitoring that park, we come to city,
Just
and let them
anything
know.
else, just
Okay.
anything else, just let us know if
Okay.
it was like the bathroom or any
Okay.
other amenity.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Adam.
Question. Is it a limited duration for this project or they will be permanent?
It would be in perpetuity, we were trying to establish a permanent storage office. So the library will continue to be small. So again, there's no real cost to city.
And you mentioned that you will be maintaining them. Is this also permanent since you're funding this by a grant?
From my understanding, yes. I don't believe we're asking.
Yeah, I think they're using foundation funds as well. Yeah, she mentioned. That's always great news. Okay,
And you put the go ahead, ready when you all are. So thank you very much for hearing.
yeah, it's very exciting. Thank you for coming and meeting us.
Great idea.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
Come see me.
Good for you.
See you, so come see me.
You're in library, you're where library is. Yeah. Yeah,
Come by anytime. Yeah.
Okay.
It was just there.
we'll go back to the,
Thank you.
go back to the work plan, Adam?
Yes, okay, so if you go down, now go back to work plan below post Arbor Day. The next update is review of establishing a pickleball facility. The status. Commissioners have assessed the potential pickleball locations at their city parks and have submitted their findings, which you did. Do you see where I am?
No,
Okay, so
Third from the bottom.
third from the
oh, okay. Oh, pickleball, gotcha, thank you.
Okay, and
Thank
then
you.
below that, another update, study opportunities for parks and recreation services to have a dedicated funding sources. And Chair Benson met with, Public Works Director. With, how do you pronounce his name?
I wanna say in July,
Before you went on your trip.
yes.
Yeah.
It was in July.
So this
Yeah.
is discussed.
And then what I did tell council last night, they anticipated, public facilities, sorry, Parks and Recreation, Parks Master Plan, sorry. You anticipated cost was 500,000 to 750. I wrote 675. I couldn't find my note. So I figured, well, 675, 750, what the heck?
Parks Master.
Yeah, for a Parks Master Plan.
Is it still in the presentation? Because I was present yesterday in the council meeting. I didn't notice.
I mentioned it in my comments. I verbaled with my, when I talked about, the mission plan. Then I talked about how it's how keeping it viable by things like the Civic Center master plan, which is already in the CIB for the, have it done. It's not a set for a year yet, but the money's there earmarked. And I said, and it's would be, to try to get it in this year, you know how I feel about it, for the parks master plan and trails. So hopefully we get a twofer or something. I know, because Adam was saying, well, the trails really needed too. We have issues with our trails. So, and I said, hopefully, and that's what I mentioned, that I had met with you. And I've been given an initial figure of 500,000 to 675. But I saw my notes after I got home last night. I did find it going through my book. And I go, oh no, it's 725. And I thought, well, I tried my best. So,
I'm not sure I provided numbers.
well, Adam sent them to me.
And just a quick comment, the trails will be
Yeah.
covered by the bicycle and pedestrian action.
Okay, great. Well, then that's one I don't have to bang the drum for, but hopefully we can get them on next year's, CIB process. I'll be gone, but
Can
I'm
I,
hoping somebody,
do we have a bike? Do we have a bike committee?
Well, the bikes were ever
So-
passed in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you said something about bikes and trail, and I'm just thinking,
the trails plan
Plan.
now, she says, falls under the,
bike, didn't you say it falls under the,
Because we applied, I will be presenting, I will have a brief presentation next meeting
Okay.
on a couple of grant applications that we submitted.
okay,
One of them is for a bicycle and pedestrian action plan, because our trail plan is outdated, it's from 2005,
Mhm.
hasn't been updated since.
Does that go to planning commission? It's part of their,
I will actually need to present it to both
Okay.
next month.
okay,
and I have a question for you. So everybody walks on the levee, but the levee is not city owned, right? That's the Santa Clara County Water District, is that correct? So is that something that would ever go away for us in terms of, because I mean, I walk it, I bike it, a lot of people do. That has nothing to do with any of our other trails or anything like that. That levee is separate and will be maintained in perpetuity, I guess, because it's water.
It depends, because we have one of our CIP projects is a trail project that's using a maintenance route
mhm,
Oh, okay.
that belongs to the county, and it will connect to the school.
What's cool? So dust, Sozano? It's not Sozano, probably the middle school.
mhm.
So in this project, actually, we got a grant for, although it doesn't fully fund the project. But we will be able to progress on the design and the needed changes, especially at the intersection when it would process.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a big one.
Right, right. I know
Thank
we,
you.
when, about 3 years ago, maybe, or maybe before COVID, we painted it and put new mile markers and quarter mile markers for people who like to walk, run on it, so. And the levee, so the whole
That makes
9
sense.
miles of it were done, and I know I worked on it, Terry worked on it.
No, I didn't work on that one.
Well, I thought you did, but,
No, no, Angela.
our old Bob, yeah.
So right now, we don't maintain it. It doesn't belong to us.
It's okay, yeah.
But once we establish the multi-use path, there will be an agreement with the county
Yeah.
that may require us. Most likely, we will have to maintain.
Yeah, I know
Huh.
probably about 5 years ago, maybe less, they came in with the water district. And because there were so many squirrel holes through the sides of it, they had to, completely close the area, and they completely put mesh in there and all that kind of stuff, so to keep it being eroded away by squirrels, brown squirrels and such. So, yeah, I think the water district did that. It was significant. It was like a 2-year project, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Next one,
That's it.
all
The
right,
next one was the storm.
okay. So maybe, and I also mentioned to the council at my presentation that, we are a 5 commissioners. However, we're chartered to be 7, and hopefully in January, we get the full commission. That means your parks reports will be greatly shortened. There won't be 4 parks, we'll probably just have 2, or maybe 2, maybe
You
3.
appreciate how big Gilroy is.
I know, well, it was, especially we had to do 17. Thank God we had all these weeks to do it, because I was like, chopped it up into, with the hot days, I forget it, but oh man, but yeah. Okay, so now this one's done as far as our plan. And then we have department updates. So we have recreation division updates.
Okay, and then go to the end of your packet. You'll take some pictures. Okay, I'll just go through these one by one. So aquatics, so the summer coming to an end, so does the aquatic season. This year was the 3rd year that we had our operator swimming swan, and this was by far and away their best year in terms of numbers. As you can see, the stats. And it's we had actually close to 2,000 kids. It says less, but it should be participants. 1,959.
How many do you do a day? How many participants? I mean, what's the limit?
Well, just think about this. They're running like 5 or 6 concurrent classes.
Oh, okay.
Every
Oh.
30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Throughout the day.
Mhm.
And it started in May. It goes all the way to Labor Day.
So they have to,
Every week.
so they have to be in classes in order to be in the pool?
No,
No,
But they
this
can
is
just swim.
lessons.
Okay,
This is just
gotcha.
lessons. But in any event, from compared to last year, 40% increase. And by the way, this summer's not over yet. So it doesn't absorb.
School's not in yet. Yeah.
Well, we'll be
I
tomorrow.
know tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Last days.
Recreation swimming, same thing. They're seeing huge increases. I think part of it has to do with it's also a warmer summer.
Yeah.
This year, so I'm sure that played a big role. And the pool is just overall just being run much better than it has the previous years. So they're getting better each year. There will be a request for proposal after this summer because it was a 3-year agreement.
Mhm.
So we will be going back out and seeing who would want to bid on it.
Nice.
do you think it's the plan of the future to maintain this outside service instead of within?
It is working quite well right now. It is very expensive, but
You don't have a pool yourself, you don't realize how much I maintain my pool. The chemicals, some of the tiles are falling off, I've gotta regrout them, you're filling up, you're putting your own water in.
Well,
It's
I'm just
awful.
thinking of the trainers, the
yeah.
lifeguards.
I just-
He doesn't have to go through the
Because the
staffing
city
hall.
in the hook for maintaining the facility,
Yeah.
as well as the school district. It's
Right,
shared
yeah, so
use.
the city, yeah.
But in terms of the staffing, it seems to be working with the pool operator. And they're also laying down some roots in the community. They
Oh, nice.
now are having returnees coming back every summer. The first summer they were out there, starting.
Yeah.
And then now in their 3rd summer, they're really starting to develop stronger.
Do you track accidents and that sort of thing like that? That's been pretty smoothly operated?
Yeah, so they will alert us if there's anything, a significant incident that happens, but otherwise, cuts and things like that, we don't get involved in. So there's some pluses and minuses. We don't know everything that's going on, we certainly can request the information, but by and large, they do send us first every month, monthly update about what's happening. The latest numbers, latest challenges they might be facing.
Mhm.
Nice.
Okay, number 2, I'm on the bottom of page 1, summer camps. So we also saw significant increases between last summer and this summer. Last summer, we had 551 summer campers enrolled in our programs. This year, it was over 800. A large portion of that is because we brought back the camp at Gilroy Gardens, which is a wonderful site to have summer camp. So every morning for 7 weeks, we had a group of campers enrolled. We had staff, we had volunteers, many of whom are high school students at Gilroy. It was great. It was great. Actually, each week the camp kept getting bigger and bigger, largely because word of mouth. And a lot of the same campers kept signing up. We had one girl sign up.
great.
That's her parents doing that.
Yeah, but she liked it.
Oh, that's great.
July 4th fireworks, as you know, we're involved in that activity as well. Although we're not the people actually lighting off the fireworks, we are organizing the event and they went without a hitch, which is always a plus. You probably received the new recreation guide on
Yeah.
page 2 now. And of course, lots of exciting programs and classes. As you see below, we had rodeo days to celebrate the Gilroy Rodeo at the senior center. We had 110 seniors present for that day, which is about 20 to 30 higher than we normally have. And we had a petting zoo, and we also had a visit from the Gilroy Police Department's mounted unit. And then
They came in?
yes, by
Well,
horse.
Maybe
Oh,
on the
yeah, but the
outside.
horses were outside.
Look at you.
If we're taking notes in minutes, let's clear that.
Lastly, Party in the Park, which was brought back last year after a short pause because of the pandemic. This year, we had over 350 residents attend. We also had a petting zoo there. We had hula dancers there. We had folklore dancers, and we had ukulele musicians. It was very successful.
They get a great turnout, don't they, over the San Ysidro Park?
Yeah.
I mean, they really
Despite the
do.
heat.
I
Yeah.
do have one more question on your product program.
Yeah.
Are any of the programs available for seniors, like a senior workout program where they do that kind of thing in the water?
That's a great question. They don't have a senior only program. I can make a
Is that my
recommendation.
phone?
No.
Oh,
Okay, if you just haven't
That would be.
Yeah.
I think that would be really beneficial, and if we can spread that out. I know I see that in other pools, where seniors have to work in that water. So,
Let me talk to them and let them know. They did introduce this year a adult yoga swim class.
okay.
what?
Yeah, it's very interesting. They have these floating
Yeah.
mats
Yeah.
and you do yoga in the water
Wow.
while you're
That's
on the mat.
great.
And you sign up for that during the swimming lessons kind of thing?
Well, that's another activity.
Oh,
Oh, so we can go through the Parks and Rec.
You go through
Activity
their
guide?
website, you go through their website,
Oh.
it's directly through them. So all of these swim lessons, everything goes directly to them. We don't.
Who is that?
But you don't put it in the booklet or?
We do. So part of the agreement
Swimming
is that
zone, I
they
see.
get free advertising in the guide.
Yeah.
Because it's a contractual. program.
Sure.
Okay.
So if you open up the fall guide, we gave them a little, like a half page because they only have 3 more weeks.
Yeah.
But in the summer guide, they get a full page.
Cool.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I understand too, there's some, just for senior stuff where you were asking, I think Gavilan College, there's classes that you sign up for a class, an actual, class, and then,
Seniors, that-
It's
Yeah.
technically not seniors, they call it adaptive swim, I actually.
Yeah.
think that's. But it is mostly seniors, it's in the morning,
Yeah.
early afternoon, it's predominant.
My friend goes, she really likes it.
yeah, my friend of mine too, and that's how I know it's a class that you register for at Gavilan College.
But very popular, and
Yeah.
the water's very.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the o'clock in the morning, you want to go.
Okay. Alrighty, so that part's done, and the next part is, we have the, status of city parks, 11.2, so that is done, you're on. Woohoo.
So it's been 2 months, we've been busy.
But you've had some great successes.
That's great successes. First up, the restrooms at CH3 Mulberry are. Staff worked really hard, doing the installation, they did it from the ground up, from
Wow.
the demolition to, prepping the new area. So plumbing, the utilities,
Mhm.
accepted a new building and then poured concrete.
Yeah, I have introduced your new worker, Eric, and talked about how he had done the concrete for that.
Yeah.
The council last night in your introductions, and I went, cool, and I think he was one of the guys that I was on the oral board for. And I think I remembered him, but maybe not, but anyway, oh, that was great. I mean, when staff can do it, that's so awesome.
Yeah, he was a great addition to help us with that. I think he came in just a couple weeks, he was there a couple of weeks and was right into the fire.
Yeah.
So, it's awesome. Great project.
The team, did pretty much everything. Yes, the restroom was prefabricated.
Yeah.
But they did the utility connections, built the sidewalks,
Wow.
everything.
Let me ask you, so, graffiti wise, damage wise, where we have fences, I mean, how do we protect those bathrooms out there? And, you know, it's just a shame and it's demoralizing to people come into a park and see something, you know. So is that in the works at all that there would be, I don't even know, I guess it'd have to be locked fences, which gates, which doesn't make any sense, right?
Don't look at it. It's had its share graffiti already.
Oh,
Great, no, we haven't had any vandalism where they've broken or. It's nice it has the graffiti resistant walls.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But,
yes.
yeah, I don't think there's anywhere that's not.
it looks really nice, and I like how it's got the, I don't know if you've been in it yet, have you seen it yet, Terry?
No, I was just there
Well, it's
having
got
lunch though.
3 restrooms, but they're all handicap accessible.
That makes
And
sense.
they're all
Perfect.
metal, all the same.
Yes. Yeah, it's
So,
really
It
nice.
was really thoughtful.
I'm walking my dog, I took my dog out one day when it was hot and didn't want to take him at home, and there's John, and they're doing the finishing touches, and he gave me a tour, so that was really great.
Nice.
So yeah, that's a big win for us. We've been working.
Yeah.
for quite some time.
Yeah,
Also the restroom, the east, or no, the west restrooms at Mulberry.
Oh, okay.
Completed all the fixtures and toilets, urinal sinks were replaced. Finally got that.
Do they still have, like, softball? They play out there, I mean, so there's people out there moving around, you know what I mean? Cause you get people, the damage hopefully isn't there, and I know they were cutting a lot of trees over there too, deeper into the.
Oh, I saw that you're there today.
Yeah, I was there today, yeah, like I said, yeah, I decided, let's go have lunch at, you know, a beautiful park, so that's where I was, yeah.
Those eucalyptus were in
Mhm.
really bad shape. We had one fall.
Saw it
last week
yesterday.
That hung up on the light post. And,
Oh, wow,
today they were out there and they had steps, so we had them cut the grove back from the
Mhm.
parking lot just for safety.
Mhm.
that's so
I've seen some of that. Those are. Not the best trees to be a lot.
No,
Nope.
even the pine trees, we were sitting under it at one of the tables right there along the road, and all of them are just. They're dry, they're dead. I mean, it's like all of a sudden summer came and burnt their leaves, or, I mean, it's.
Well, they're probably
Uncanny.
not dead, but
No,
they're
they're not
probably
dead,
exhausted
but
from the heat.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, I was just surprised, but I'm just thinking they're still alive, right? And then can I ask one more question, about the, swimming pool, if you will, on the dip? You know what I'm talking about, that little
Silva's Crossing?
Silva's Crossing water. So I live right near there, so I'm always driving in there, you know, and there's kids in there swimming and stuff. I don't know what the water's like, but is there any, should we put a sign that says no swimming?
It's
Where is it? I looked. Oh,
right on the grass as you enter.
okay, so it's not on the road as you go down. If I looked, I wouldn't see the sign, no, so maybe we should
Go into the.
Maybe we
park
should put
itself, the
more-
driveway. I think, yeah, because, I mean, it's
It's
crazy, right?
also historically been a area where the like kids and family go to loft. I've talked to quite a few residents that
It is,
they get complaints. There's people fishing where we swim, there's people swimming where we fish.
Neither one of you should do it there, yeah.
right.
The
Right.
code states they can't.
Are we
City
liable?
code says you can't swim in there, but there's
Mhm.
nothing that.
There's nobody to
restricts
prevent it.
Fishing, so.
It's sort of like an attractive nuisance, but they have the responsibility of their percentage of their own nuisance if something happens to them because they're there. I mean, frankly, I wouldn't let my dog in that water, you know, and you're letting your little kids, I see it every day.
So do I, so that's why I was wondering, because I'm gonna have to go look for that sign, because I thought. Where should you know?
Go on the grassy side.
Okay,
Okay, more John?
thanks,
Yes,
John.
pop-up park, we installed the all-inclusive play panels
Mhm.
from the Rotary Club.
Oh,
Donald Elvis Prieto Park.
also installed the plaque for Donald Creative Park.
Where is it?
Right next
It's right on the corner,
to the,
the Donald Creative Park is, between, just next to the
Monterey
Arts
Street.
Center.
Oh, okay, down Monterey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The 7th Street.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
between 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Completed weed abatement and spread mulch around the horse arena. That was a project that, I collaborated with Chief Landscape. And completed that, looks really great with the trees and
Ooh,
weeds. Down.
Is that the one it's on the ranch site?
It's on the ranch side,
Yeah.
it's,
Mhm.
like the, mounted police.
Yeah, how frequently do they use it? Cause I was wondering the other day when I drove around.
They use them probably monthly.
Okay.
They do a lot of training, especially for going into encampments, things like that.
Okay, great.
We've been working through a slew of mainline breaks, downtown.
is that damage, like as in vandalism damage or
No,
just,
leaks and breaks, valves for leaking, so, it's kind of.
cost of doing
I've
business?
called it in myself when I've been over at Sydney Casper, noticed to hear it call up. I did on my birthday party, called up. So, yeah.
Down the, we got the service response out. Pump issues, we've been having some pump issues, so we're, right now seeking quotes. I have meetings tomorrow with, pump manufacturers to take a look at Delray, Christmas Hill and Sunrise. Now, issues with those 3 parks and the pumps, failing and tripping.
Irrigation pumps, is that what you're talking about?
A lot of our, parks will have, there's not enough pressure coming from the regular main line,
Oh,
so they use pumps to supplement the pressure, so.
Like a booster or something?
The booster pumps,
Mhm.
those are, quite old, those 3 parks, so we're looking to get, quotes and, see if we can work on getting those things. Veterans Memorial at Ranch site, if you guys are familiar
Mhm.
with that, location, staff took, that as a small project, replanting and cleaning that up.
saw it looked good.
Mark and plants. To, produce that for the veterans. Memorial. A1 Sports Park finally got its, scoreboards, fixed, so, late in the season, but we're able to use it for the, championship. So, now, and then, been going through lately, preparing and checking all the, drinking fountains at parks, making repairs to Casper Gateway, Sports Park, Christmas Hill, Miller, Carriage, and drinking fountains. We're working on 3 new ones for Los Angeles. We're hoping to place a new one at the major field and ballpark. Also at the. Right.
Are there dog protected water? Um, water spigots? I mean, have you ever seen like, person comes and drinks and then pretty soon they let their dog jump up and, lick on that?
That's a good point, I mean.
I mean,
Well,
I
they
can
have,
see that,
all the
but-
new ones now have a dog thingy
Yeah,
at the bottom.
are you gonna?
Yeah,
look for the
that's
dog?
Sydney Casper, it's got it.
In the locations where we're placing these ones, we're going with the bottle filler and the ADA,
Oh, yes.
water fountain part.
Okay.
We didn't go with the dog bowls at those sites because the drainage system is more of a French drain style, so.
Okay.
we-
I just was curious, sometimes you see that, oh, I'm glad I've got a water bottle,
Yeah, trees, we touched on the trees. I mean, we're start reseeding the turfs at Los Alamos. I would like to redo the auxiliary field, the major and minor fields.
Yep.
The drinking fountains. We're also looking into replacing the bleachers at the San Luis Park, for the major fields. They're
Nice. Yeah.
ready to get new ones.
Nice.
Then, as part of the CIP project, we're also looking into taking in quotes for roof, repairing the roofs at the lakeside restroom. And also working with facilities, we're actually getting a quote for all four buildings, including the creation building they were. Plan to refresh the side, and then looking into replacing the restroom. CHP, we're looking to get a new. See a bunch of barbecues. And then dog park, we received the benches. Just looking into suggesting your place where the benches would be better to.
They run it by the dog, food dispenser, right?
Right next to
Away from
it, perfect.
So. Yeah,
I'd be glad to meet you out there sometime if you wanna. I could probably help you with that.
okay.
Since
I know we've tried to connect up and haven't made it out there, but maybe we can, reach out to him with.
Do you have my phone number?
I don't think so, I think we just communicate,
Maybe give share phone number after the meeting. And
Yeah, we'll do that.
that works. Yeah,
and, I know I've forgotten one.
I do have a question. So are you saying you're going to, because I was at right out there at Christmas Hill, and one of the barbecues is just, bent, the grills are broken.
yeah, the
Yeah,
bottom.
not the bottom part of it, not the bowl. Yeah, and just tilted out and stuff like that, right, and stuff like that. So are those getting replaced, or is it worth replacing them?
They get heavily
Yeah.
used.
I-
They do.
Yeah, you're talking about the one as you come in on the right.
Yep, that's the one I told you about that day that I ran into. I go, hey, by the way.
Yeah, that's where we're sitting.
Counted, I think we've got 9 that are, a few of them are worn out and.
They looked older, Yeah.
Trying to, if you go there on a Saturday or a Sunday, there's reservations, but they're full.
It's
Someone-
definitely a park that's used by family and people that don't have that opportunity, maybe to barbecue at the apartment building or wherever, so yeah, it's a nice use park. It is. It is. I think it's a safe place too. I mean,
Well, they can go into the creek water. Okay, so next item. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
John,
John.
by the way. Commissioner park reports and comments, so. I don't know who wants to go first and who your parks are.
I can do good. I can do it fast and fun.
Okay, Terry, you're up.
Christmas Hill looks, as far as I'm concerned, the parks always look good. That's just how I feel about it, John. I mean, and the minute we say something about something needing fixed, you already know that it needs to be fixed. So I was at Christmas Hill. I was over at, I'm always over by the dog park, just checking that out. And I was over at, what is that park? Sunrise. Remember where Michelle? Oh, so anyway, is that one of your parks? Okay, yeah, it's so light over there. It's so hot looking and there was nobody there. So it was just kind of weird. I'm used to it, but my parks, they look good all the time. It's just never a problem. Except for, I should take that back. The water at the sports complex, where the cages are along the walkway there. So like if you drive into the big sports park, and then you walk along the walkway there, and there's a, I call it dugout, I guess is what I call it, it's yeah. At one time, there was a big leak right outside of it, and I don't know if it ever got fixed. It was along the grass and like maybe a border.
On the east side of this,
park,
On the east side of the park, yes.
two main lines, it's.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
I noticed today when I was walking the sports park in back by the best right streams, and I took that whole area, the, purple, recycled water. I noticed it must have been on earlier, but there was standing water still, so towards the back, right next to the residences. I thought it wasn't super bad, but I thought I'd just mention, maybe somebody should check it tomorrow in case there's a leak. But it wasn't like continual, just a lot of water at one time. Okay, those are your parks, Luis?
Las Animas looks good. There's some graffiti. Are we responsible for the people's walls, you know, like the fences, like on the far western side, there's a.
Town wall.
It's people's backyards wall, but they face
Wood
the
fence?
park. Yeah, by the tennis courts, there's the wood fence has got this big graffiti, whatever it is, on that side. But otherwise, that park looks great. It's, you know, the grass is a little dry, but that's expected. San Isidro looks good. They still have the tree stumps there, John. I don't know.
I'm working to, schedule a time to get those out. We were, when those came down, we were,
Okay.
that's, just scheduling the Christmas Hill and eucalyptus, that's.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I go to Miller Park all the time. I think there's a busted pipe by the south end, where the trees are and that picnic there where the bouncies, one of the bounce sites are on the south end of the park. It's really muddy through there. It's been muddy for like a week in a row, so I think there's a busted line in me somewhere. What's the other park there? I've been to all of them, so.
Yeah, maybe we should put that on here, what our parks are.
Yeah. But other than that, that's the only thing I noticed from, you know, all the parks. All the grass is a little bit dry, but that's to be expected this time of year. Robert looks fantastic, but yeah.
Oh.
Okay, good, thank you.
Sam?
Carriage Hills, John, thank you for giving me the directions on the other road to get in. So now I know there's two ways to get in there. Thanks a lot. That's it on the parks.
All your other
Do
parks
I have
look
any,
fine?
do I have a chance for comments?
Not yet,
Okay,
still parking,
Okay.
and then we'll ask for more. How about you?
Yeah, Sunrise, I noted that there's room for more pickleball, but I'll note that on my report, and, but the playground looks great, the lawn looks great. Everything looks really good out there. There were a couple of people playing basketball and they said, you know, if you're gonna do pickleball, don't put in lights and don't put in bathrooms, cause it's just gonna attract all the homeless people. That was a comment from a resident. I just thought I'd throw that in. Forest Street Park, very clean. The lawns look great. There's little dry areas on the edge, but that's kind of where the drop off is. It's typical for this time of year. The playground looks really nice and, the rest of it's pickleball info that I'll put into my thing there.
Mhm.
Third Street, the dog park. I know I've sent you guys emails about the overwatering. And I know you tamped it down a little bit, but there's 3 trees out there that are, I mean, they're about dead from just having the wells filled with water constantly. And, I have some pictures.
It's, today, well, and we're aware, we have 3, set up to replace those 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then, you know, and it wasn't just the wells and the drainage, it was, I have pictures of the lawn, you know, where it's just like. And you know what happens when dogs go out to the lawn, it's not just water anymore. You know, so it is a little swampy and nasty for a while there. It has gotten better.
Yeah, it actually,
we cut back and it got a little drier than I'd like.
Yeah,
Made some adjustments past week, coming out there today, it's turning back green, but we're trying to get that fine adjustment where we don't flood it and it gets muddy all the time, but it starts.
I know, it's a fine line.
It's got a
folks-
little bit of,
Sure, doesn't have those days that just stay hot.
the ground there, it's really poor drainage.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hard to
Really
pan.
fine line to get.
Do you like aerate it like maybe more frequently or something?
It's coming up, the creation, schedule starts, September.
Okay.
Now, wasn't that written somewhere? Yeah, I think that was in,
Okay.
someone called paper.
So, yeah, so,
Yeah.
It's set to get aerated next year.
Okay, that'll probably help a lot too, yeah.
It's just hot and dry.
Okay.
sometimes.
yeah, I finish, can I?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I did, notice that I went over there a couple days ago and it looked like it was really evenly watered. Because folks, for like 3 weeks, the folks didn't wanna take the dogs out. Because they'd have to take them home and give them a bath before, or clean them, I mean, they didn't want them in their vehicles. After they tromped around in that stuff, so. I meant to mention that I'm glad that you guys were able to iron that out, because it was, anyway, that's it for my parts. Christmas Hill, of course, is the gem of the bunch to me.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Ren's Park, everything looks fine, no complaints. Casper, looking good. I know we're gonna get some trees in there you mentioned. So that'll be great. I had an event there myself personally. It was very enjoyable. And, Del Rey Park, I'm in there. Would be in there a lot more frequently now that's, no, my grandson's going to Brownell, so no. Well, maybe I'll switch to Miller. No, I'm done. Anyway, but, doing all this pickleball scoring and everything, I really really got into everyone and looking at, because a lot of these parks I don't go into, but I know where they're all at, of course. I did notice today when I was at the sports park and I was walking between A1 all the way to 4, there, A1, it's kind of had some turf issues, like a clumpies. So maybe there's gonna be some seating issues. I don't know, but A4 looked nice and grassy. So just kind of, knowing that, I was like, oh, I'll bring that up today. Everything's looking good at Sidney Casper Park. It's well attended. So, and a lot of folks go there. They play basketball all the time. It's just great, no problems. So, yeah, everything's looking good. So anybody else have any other questions or comments about their parks? No. Okey-dokey. And let's see, August, so right here. No? So, Stan, did you want to make any other comment?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you. It's not on our work plan for the year, but just in case we were interested in starting a street fair,
What the,
a street fair.
oh, street fair.
Yeah. We could get invited to the Redwood City Parks and Recreation Department Street Fair during October. It's an Oktoberfest.
Oh.
And if you're interested in attending that, they would send us tickets for that.
Sure.
So
To go up to Redwood City?
to Redwood City.
Okay, I've been to one of the October fairs.
Yeah.
I think that was like an a day or
They,
something.
it's a big, like 1,000, 2,000.
Yeah.
Redwood City's,
Yeah.
yeah, how big they are.
Anyway.
yeah.
In Redwood.
So can you give me an idea?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll just couple things. One, if the tickets have a value of $150, you do have to report this.
Okay,
Yeah. The other thing is, it's probably not the appropriate place. It's one thing, it's fine to mention it, but let's not solicit the information.
Mhm.
It's not on the agenda.
If
oh,
we're interested, get in
So-
touch with him separately.
Well, are you going as Parks and Rec Commissioner? I don't know, why don't you and I talk offline? And I'll figure out a way
Right.
to
Okay.
make it work so you're not in violation.
Okay.
While I have you in my,
Yes,
is fishability. Do we participate in fishability?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, not the commission per se, but the
No,
city
but
does,
the department.
for the adaptive.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to tell you, we gave Gilroy Elks gave fishability $3,500 in the last 2 years.
Mhm.
And I was just thinking, we could, if we do another, this is based on an Italian dinner that the proceeds then were given out. So we gave it all to
Sportsmanship.
fishability sportsmanship,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but we don't have to do that in the future when we do. We'll be doing another one in 3 or 4 months. So then we can designate where it's supposed,
Oh.
it can go.
Okay.
So, but I didn't know at that time that, I remember seeing it in the report, fishability.
Yeah, so and they sign up through recreation,
Yeah.
and Sportsmanship does the
they do.
cooking and
Yeah.
running the event
Perfect.
along with staff.
Okay,
So yeah, still giving it down to Sportsmanship to do it.
yeah,
That's the right thing.
okay, so but we could give it or portion it out so that the department would benefit from it in the fishability program. We designate it that way.
Yeah, we could talk more about that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, great.
Mhm.
All right.
Thanks, Sam.
Uh-huh.
Great information. Okay, item 13, staff comments.
Okay, so, I wanted to mention this is something the commission has done every year. You're under no obligation to do it, but, it is the annual Parks and Recreation Staff Appreciation Breakfast.
Oh.
So if you want to do this, I do have some dates that should work for staff. But again, this was, by the way, this was also mentioned by, I should have mentioned this before, by Chair Benson.
Yeah, I mentioned to the council, there was a picture of us standing from the breakfast of last year. We were in it. So, yeah, and then they kind of like, so we do this every year.
Breakfast for seniors?
No, breakfast for the staff. Remember how? we
No, I don't
made
remember
stuff?
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Made
was my
staff.
first week at the.
Hey,
We made food.
It's gone. Do we make, okay, just tell us what
You
the
made
food
your
was.
breakfast.
What you call it, made
Oh,
the
breakfast.
breakfast burritos.
Yes.
He had a big box of them.
Or Melindo.
Yeah.
I think it was his last meeting last year.
His last hurrah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so dates that are, if you want
What
to
do
do
you got?
this, okay, so it has to be sometime between Tuesday and Thursday. Friday, every other Friday,
Sure.
and then Mondays are released.
That's,
So Tuesday through Thursday, there's some time in September, it'd be the end of the month, the 24th, the 25th, the 26th.
That works for me.
Then in the middle of October, there's the 16th, 17th, and then also the 22nd of October. Or the
24th or 25th works for me.
Good catch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait,
or-
that's October.
Yeah.
Not- No, we're talking about September for the breakfast.
Oh, so actually both 21st, so September 24th.
Breakfast?
26th, there's also October 24th, thank you.
Yeah, but we usually have in September, so let's stick with September.
Well, again, just seeing what works for.
Yeah,
It's all good to me.
yeah, 24th, 25th are all good for me.
I'm hungry every day.
Right now, we're good.
Yeah, I'm the week of the, well, 23rd, but the 24th, 25th, 26th are all good for me.
Of what month? October or September?
September, for the
September.
breakfast.
The other thing too is we can also reconvene at the next meeting, which is September 17th. And firm it up.
Well, why don't we firm it up? That way we'll just firm the menu
Okay,
so
that
that
sounds good.
we'll know what we have to bring. So why don't we say,
Yeah.
do you want the Tuesday or do you want the Wednesday?
It'd be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Okay,
John, what do you prefer? What's the staff prefer? Does it make a difference?
Tuesday, Wednesday's fine, because I have pretty much everyone there, the Friday stuff.
yeah, we're not, yeah,
Or do I just
it'll be a
Tuesday,
Tuesday
Wednesday,
or Wednesday.
And Tuesday's a Parks and Rec meeting.
No, the week before is the,
Oh, why do I have that down to the
it's the
seventeenth?
third.
Ooh,
And
Uh,
17th is correct for the meeting.
How about the 25th,
24th
Wednesday,
is-
just the hump
that's what
day?
I'm talking about. So we're gonna go the 24th,
Yes.
the,
Week after.
week after, yeah, after the breakfast. Okay.
How about Wednesday?
The 25th?
I just thought 25th is a hump day.
Why not?
Yeah. you know.
Works for
Breakfast,
me.
okay?
Hump day, happy hump day and happy staff breakfast day. So
9:25.
September 25th, and you would like it at 9 o'clock?
That works for the commission, yeah.
And are we still having it in the TED room?
Yeah. Ted Carpenter.
And then you'll put a little sign up for us on what we want to bring?
Yeah, we'll discuss that.
And then maybe let us know how much staff, so we don't overbuy like the
Yeah.
last times, couple times we've done.
Yes. I'll get you a good.
Great, great, thank you. So any future commissioner initiated items? Item 14? Nope, okay, and just to briefly go across again, that I presented to commission, I'm in council last night, I thought it went really well. Adam, I appreciate, you working with me and getting me the other stuff, and I worked on my speech. And I watched your video from the year before, so that all was great, and I thought it went really well. I did get choked up. I was really surprised that I did that when I was talking about my final remarks and how I was leaving. I just literally got choked up for a minute. My last meeting, I guess, will be November meeting, and in December for dark, if we're not
That's
dark.
mine too then.
But, no, you're still on.
I'm still,
Do you
I'm
want
still
to
on?
adjourn the meeting?
Yes,
So we'll be down 3 people.
well, hold on. We're not gonna join the meeting at 7:53. Okay, shut off the